Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco. Here with my guys, my brothers from another mothers, couple different mothers. Got my guy Marcus and Swerve. What's going on, guys? What's going on, fellas?
Not much, man. Not much. It's been a cold winter these last couple of days. You know what I'm saying? But we here. You know what I mean? Gonna talk birds.
Yeah. What's good, Swerve?
Yeah, you know, it's they said it's gonna feel like 6 degrees outside uh tonight. So I'm in the house bundled up and I got my hood on, and I'm just ready to talk birds. The regular season is over and we are now headed to the postseason, and it's been a
It's
long 18 weeks, and I'm just ready for it to all unravel.
I felt like it went by too fast. I don't know about long 18. It felt like it went by
It's been
like in a snap
long.
of a finger.
It's been long.
No, see, I feel completely. I feel. See, you don't see the difference is this. You down there, right? So you don't have to deal with the WIP every day.
Yeah,
True.
that's the
The
difference. Yeah, that's
the,
a big
the
difference.
goofy fans every day. It's like
You don't
this.
see it. Yeah, you don't. That's the one. It's different in that aspect because you know where you're at.
Yeah,
You
like
don't see the WIP like you said. You don't see WIPs. You don't see like the local stuff going on. You
that
know what I
goes
mean?
on, and it's like, oh my God, Jalen Hurts is so horrible. Kenny Pickett should be the starting quarterback. Know what? Know what? And then it's like
It's not
Jalen
even.
Hurts is so horrible, and it's like this is Tim calling from Delco. This is Tim calling from South Philly. Like Jalen Hurts is so horrible. You guys know what? I could complete those passes. I started freshman quarterback for uh Lower Marion, and when I was 13 for 15, and the simple reads that he's missing, that's every day, bro.
And
Like, and
Yeah, that is that part, and then the fans keep gradually asking what's happening with Jalen. Is Jalen going to play? Is Jalen going to play? This has been going on for like a whole week and a half, man. I'm like, dog, he's playing.
we finally got the answer. Everybody can shut up.
Yeah,
I think that it was one of those things that like people just didn't understand the situation. I
right.
get after last week, I was like, all right, maybe he'll be some miracle. He's actually, cleared to play. But
Right.
after that, it was like there's no need. You won the game. There's literally no need to rush the process. I didn't see any reason why they would clear him last week. It just didn't make any sense. So,
It made
yeah, we got
no
the
sense
answer we
whatsoever.
wanted. Yeah, we got the answer we wanted. And good thing is he took like 2 weeks off of football. His finger should be, feeling better. His concussion, whatever, that should be better. Everything should be feeling better. So there should be no excuses. We're probably the most healthy team in the NFL right now as far as the playoffs go. So yeah, we talk about the regular season and why, like, it was long for y'all. It was short for me in the sense that I knew what was supposed to happen during the season. Maybe 14 wins wasn't exactly what I thought would happen, but I knew we should be a playoff team. This is where we should be. You know what I'm saying? And make an argument. We probably could have been a first seed. Probably should have been a first seed if things didn't go. We're one catch away. We're one Jalen Hurts
yeah,
injury from being a first
we're
seed. So,
we're we're 2 plays away. We're 2 plays away from being the number one seed. But Black can vouch for me. And again, I don't like to brag. I do like to brag, so I'm not even gonna say I don't like to brag.
Yeah.
But I had a conversation, and Joe, you might have been part of. I said if the defense is a top 15 defense, we win 15 games. I said
Easily. Easily.
if that defense can perform at a top 15. I didn't expect them to be what they are. I also didn't expect the offense to struggle the way it did so early. But I said if that defense can finish in the top half of the league, I don't see a reason why this team doesn't play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But I
it's
still look at things week to week. But looking at that roster, I just believe that offense was going to be so good that if the defense can hold teams to 25 points, we should be in every game. So was 14 games a surprise to me? No.
no.
And like you said, we're literally two plays away from being what the only game the Eagles got outplayed in was the Tampa Bay game, right?
Yeah.
Right.
If you look at their losses, they lost to Tampa, they lost to Atlanta,
Yeah.
and they lost to Washington. If Saquon catches the ball, the Atlanta's a dub, right?
I
If
mean,
Jalen doesn't get hurt, I mean, what was the score when Jalen got hurt? 14-0.
Yeah, facts. We would
yeah.
have blew them out. We would
and
have
they
blew
were
them boys
and they
out.
were going down to score, and they were going down to make it 21-0. If Jalen doesn't get hurt, they win in Washington, and that's why I said the Eagles are literally two plays away from being 16-1. And then the one loss that they did have, you didn't have AJ Brown or Devontae Smith.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, two of your losses, you didn't have
Yeah.
main players of you didn't have your quarterback. You didn't. I mean, but at the end of the day, it really, yeah, I get it. You know what I'm saying? We should have probably had the first seed, but I'm not going to be negative. We're in the playoffs. We're
Hey,
good. We're in a good state.
Right.
we're in a great place.
Yeah,
We're in a great place, man. It's just the 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 adjustment they made not only on offense but on defense as well, understanding what the circumstances were and what their strengths and weaknesses were is what got them to where they're at right now. You know what I'm saying? Staff wise. We start, with Nick understanding what this team was, him taking in the counseling from Lane and Jordan Mailata, listening to them, hey, this is what we are. We've been screaming it, no, I've been screaming it to y'all for the last 3 years what this team is.
Yeah.
They're a run first, pass second team.
Run first.
And there's nothing, and that's no disrespect to Jalen Hurts. Just understand what his strengths are
yeah,
and what this team's strengths are. Play complementary football. Once they did that, this is what we see now. And this I think is sustainable. They have a formula that's not just sustainable for this year, but they can carry this on for years. Just
facts.
doing the same thing. Because there, I mean, I'm at a point now where if even just looking in within the division itself, I fear none of them. I don't fear the Cowboys because their owner just doesn't do shit right. I'm sorry. He doesn't do anything right. You know what I'm saying? The Commanders, yes, they have Jaden Daniels, but they can't stop anyone from running
Hey,
whatsoever.
but Black, let me ask you this. And I have a lot of things I want to touch on. But when Cliff Kingsbury leaves to go become a head coach next year, what
Where's that?
happens with
Yeah,
Jaden Reed? Does he
I don't,
regress?
I don't think
Like that's what.
I don't think he does. I think we all know right now what Cliff Kingsbury is and what his system is. So him leaving could be better for Jaden Daniels if you really want to tell the truth about it.
there's a lot
Because
of cooks in that kitchen. There's a
yeah,
lot of people
yeah,
working with him right
exactly.
now. There's
Yeah,
a
exactly,
lot of
man.
Brian
quarterbacks
Johnson.
working on.
Is Brian Johnson going to be the next offensive coordinator?
Who
And
knows, bro?
It could,
I,
it could, it could. I mean, like I'm not
hey,
going to sit there and knock Jaden
I
Daniels.
need one of them shirts too, Black. You send me the link.
Hey, yeah, I got that from the folks at PHLY, man. They sent me a shirt, man. So I was like,
love it,
cool.
the
The guys,
John.
yeah,
That's
the crews
fire.
up there, it's good people, man. You know what I mean? So
Definitely that
they did me
that
a
shirt
solid.
is dope.
They
That's
did me a
fire.
solid, man. But yeah,
Yeah, I like Jaden Daniels. I do think that there's going to be a natural regression. I think that after a full season, people see you, people know what you are, people are going to catch up to you a little bit, at the very least. People are, I mean, we see it with Stroud, right? Even though he's having a
CJ, I'm about
decent
to say
year,
CJ Stroud is
yeah, people
CJ.
catch up to you after a little bit. He might be able to counter that, you know what I'm saying? The good ones always do, but they're going to catch up to him a little bit. Now, will that team be as good? That's the real question. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are they going to put around him? Because the Commanders, I mean, they did well in this offseason. Almost all of their draft picks, their free agency pickups did pretty well for
Everything
them.
hit.
So
Everything hit CDC.
yeah. So it's like, can they do it again? You know what I'm saying? Like, can you do it again? And that's what I say after almost every touchdown now, because I believe in my defense. Once they drive, I'm like, all right, can you do it again? You know what I'm saying? So I don't really think people do. But shout out to Kasaya's mom and shout out to Lonely B. Yeah, they said the Eagles are playing their best football going into the playoffs and have many ways to beat teams. You kind of alluded to this already, Marcus. You said, they run first. How confident are you? And we saw Tanner McKee go out there and do some things with this pass game that we haven't necessarily seen all season. I'm not calling for nobody's head, but I'm asking, how confident are you if the Eagles need to turn it on with the passing game? And I throw this at both of y'all, that they can do that in the playoffs.
I'm very confident because of the fact that with you have one, you have a dual threat in Hurts. However, he's been able to see. I'm pretty sure he's been in the film room looking at what he can do, what the strengths are of the offense, not just his skills, but what his strengths are or what the strengths are within the offense. I think him understanding, like, okay, look, this is what I have, and the other part about it is him, well, not really, actually him, Dallas Goedert, Smitty, and AJ have played 3 games together. They finished 3 games all year. So imagine having all 4 of those guys on the field, and then having Saquon. So there's a comfort level there. You have your outlets coming out of the backfield with Saquon. You have your comfort blanket with Dallas Goedert, and then you can do whatever you need to do with Smitty and AJ. So I'm confident he can do whatever he needs to do. And then with on top of that, with this Packers defense, yes, they've gotten better. They were getting better during the middle of the year, but the last couple of weeks, they've been struggling, especially with Jair and Alexander not being there as well. And then Quay Walker is still, we don't know what his status is going to be for this game as well, because he's coming off an injury. So there's a lot of positives going into this game for Jalen. He just keep it simple. You don't have to do anything crazy. If the guy is there, give it to him. It doesn't matter what the pitch count is to either guy. Just make sure you're doing the right thing, and that's all you got to do.
All right. Same question. We watched the Pittsburgh game, right? Pittsburgh loaded the box up and said, "We're not going to let you beat us with the run." I know because I have Saquon on my fantasy team. And the Pittsburgh game was the first dud Saquon arguably laid all season. But in the Pittsburgh game, I watched Jalen Hurts take what Pittsburgh gave him, and he hit Smitty, he hit Brown, he dumped it off the game well, he made the right reads, and he threw for 300 yards, and he completed 70% of his passes. So, like, and this leads to something else I was going to get to. I think offensively, the Eagles are the most complete offense in the NFL. Like Joe Burrow, that's cute. Shout out to Cincinnati. That's cute. So you have Joe Burrow, who leads the league in passing yards and touchdowns, who's going to be home watch the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Then you have Baltimore. Shout out to Lamar, who is the real MVP of this year. I'm going to give Lamar his flowers. Lamar Jackson is the MVP of the NFL.
I still take Saquon, but
no, I'm not going to be a homer. Lamar Jackson threw for 4,000 yards. He
Yeah.
ran for 900 yards, and he accounted for 50 touchdowns. Like, I love Saquon, and I had a bet that Saquon. I bet Saquon was going to be the MVP the day that bet became available. If if I had a vote, it would go to Lamar Jackson, right? So you look at certain things and certain dynamics. Jalen Hurts threw for 300 yards, completed 70% of his passes because Pittsburgh said, we're going to load the box and we're going to make the guy who can't throw, beat us. So if Green Bay decides that's what they want to do, you don't have Jair Alexander. Even
Yeah.
with Jair Alexander, AJ Brown still torched him, right?
Right. Yeah.
So but you don't have Jair Alexander anymore. So you're going to play man. Are you really going to go man up against AJ Brown and Devontae Smith without your best corner? And Dallas is healthy, like Black said. it- we've only got to see this offense together for 3 games, and
3.
they and as slow as they started all year long, they're still top five in scoring, top five in yards. Like, I feel like this team is special. This team is dangerous and they're complete. They play complementary football. The defense gets you a three and out. The offense, bro, we seen a 10-minute drive a few weeks ago. Like the
Oh
last
yeah,
time
we've seen multiple long game-ending drives.
10, we've seen 15 play drive. But at the
Mhm.
same time, just like we see those time consuming drives, we've also seen them go out there and
Scoring a play or two.
third
Yeah.
play of the drive, Saquon breaks a 70-yard run. Third play of the drive, AJ Brown's going for 60. Third play of the drive, Smith is, so it's just they have multiple dimensions. They have many
They
ways
can
they can
beat you any
beat you.
type of way they want to beat you, man.
They
They can
can
beat
do
you.
whatever they want to do to you. If whatever you come outside and just say, whatever you come out and decide that, oh, we're going to take away the run and we're going to make Hurts beat us. He did that. Oh, we're going to play that. We're going to play a cover two. We're going to have both our safeties deep, and we're going to rely on our defensive line and linebackers to stop the run. That's what the Rams tried to do.
Mhm.
The Rams tried to play their safeties deep and say, we're going to make you drive down the field. We're going to make you drive down the field, and we're going to make you put together these 12 and 15 play drives. No, 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 no. We have 26 back there, and if you make one mistake defensively, 26 is hitting a home run.
Yeah.
They can
Yeah.
beat you any
You
type of
have
way
to
they want to beat you,
you
man.
have
Like,
to pick your
yeah.
poison.
Like I'm like,
And defensively they can lock in too. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut any. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm nervous because I'm nervous every Sunday, but I'm comfortable.
Yeah, I think this offense can do what they got to do. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, the offense has shown, like you said, we've seen the long drives, we've seen the quick hitters, we've seen, them just taking what they need to do. We are taking what they get. We've seen them press and still get some big plays. Like, we've seen everything, and not only that, we've seen this coaching staff. Something that I feel like we don't talk about enough is that this coaching staff has shown that they aren't going to shy away from the run, right? You look at so many times in this season that games have been close. And in the back of my mind, until about week 13, honestly, I'm going to be real with you. Until Jalen Hurts went down and we kept on running the ball. We didn't just panic and start throwing the ball all over the field with Kenny Pickett. That's when I was like, okay, this team, even though they know that they're not going to get, the home run hitters because they're, devoting 9 or 10 to the box, they're still going to keep you honest, which I love. I love that they're not going to run away from it. So you have a coaching staff that understands what they need to do with this team. You have a team that understands what they need to do within that coaching staff, within that system. And then one of the bigger things is you got mentality. I haven't seen an Eagles team this like together and this tough. Like, you could look back at the 2017 team, and I think that was just like family. That was like,
right.
what I'm saying? That was one of those like Fast and Furious movies. That was one of those like we're family. We're gonna win this because we family. This year it feels like we're gonna knock somebody in the mouth and we're gonna go out here and steal this. Like it's not, you feel what I'm trying to say? Like I don't feel like it's just it's just a different attitude. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson brought that attitude. So I love what I see from the Eagles, man, and I love what I see from just the players in general. And shout out to Linda Conyers. Says, I believe Jalen Hurts and the Eagles in general have that Michael Jordan rubbing off on them. Jordan beat teams using different talents needed to win: defense, rebounds, 3-point shooting, however you want. And she also said that Pittsburgh only had 2 possessions in the second half. But one thing we all do agree that we are probably the most well-balanced team in the playoffs. I think that's fair to say.
Right.
But one thing that I think that we all are nervous about, or at least we all should be kind of worried about, is the special teams. And I'm not just talking about Jake Elliott. You know what I'm saying?
Brandon Mann is horrible.
Brady. I mean, if he's going to keep on doing those kickoffs, we got to figure this out. And the kickoff return team or kickoff coverage needs to be better. Our return teams have been pretty good, but, coverage and our specialists. So because I mean, that could be big. And that's one of those things you can't really do anything about it. Is there anything you feel like you could do about it? My only thing would be the Jake Elliott kickoff.
Let Jake kick off, man, because if you want to be if you want to be very brutally honest about the situation, even with everything that happened in that Washington game, and I don't like going back to say, okay, what if could have happened or whatever the case may be. The reason why Washington had such of an easy time 45 minutes out of that game is because my man couldn't get the ball to the end zone, kicking it off. So every time Washington had I'm gonna give him at the minimum 10 possessions. 8 of those possessions started at the 35 or more because he couldn't get the ball to the end zone. So they were starting at the 40. So if you only got to go 30 yards to get a field goal, there you go. And then if you mix in a couple of personal fouls or a missed coverage, there you go. Because they didn't start.
You're in the red zone.
It was easy for them to get to the half field or 50-yard line every game or the whole game.
Yeah,
it felt like we were on defense trying to stop them from even getting basic stuff the whole game, man. So that's what it was. If he could just, hopefully Jake is kicking off in the playoffs, man, because I don't want to see Brady Man kicking off anything, dude. I'm tired of it.
I'd rather kick off.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, God. I'd rather
man.
Get Jason Kelsey. Remember his $30,000 kick that he missed? That he messed up. He shanked in the parking lot or whatever. Get Jason Kelsey.
And then he came back and kicked last week. He kicked last week, right? The ball didn't make it to the end zone.
Yeah, but you remember Camus Grugier Hill? I think his name was. Or
that was the Dallas game.
Yeah, remember when he was kicking? He even got it to the end zone.
Yeah, I'm like,
he got it to the end zone. He got it to the end zone.
I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know what the case may be, but brother, if you can't get the ball to the end zone,
off a tee, I do, and roll with me here. This may be me playing a little devil's advocate, but I do understand to a certain extent putting your punter out there because he's a little bit more of a place kicker in that sense. So like with this new rule, I can understand you being like, if he can place it perfectly in the 20-yard, you know what I'm saying? Like within that little bucket, but he can't. So like, let's just move on. We try.
When has he done that? When has he done that? Like
I give him the 30. I really don't mind. Give him the 30 every time.
I'd rather you just start at the 30 than because here's what it is. If Jake kicks it in the end zone and they down it, the guys just sprint down there and
they go right back to the
at the 30.
Exactly.
Get right back to the 30.
And then
man is kicking the ball and allowing them to return it, which means they're getting blocked and anything can happen.
Right.
And it's just like, and they're getting the ball at the 40. Like, I'd rather just kick the ball in the end zone and let them start at the 30. Like,
it's manageable, right? When there's a game next week. You can it's annoying, but there's a game next week. In the playoffs, you do this. You do that once or twice. That could be the difference in you losing.
Yeah, 10 yards is huge. You lose by 2. If you up one and you let her and got 58, we seen it in Atlanta. You up one and you got 58 seconds left, and they start at the 45 versus the 30. That's
Yeah.
a big difference.
It is.
One pass interference, you at the darn 2 yard.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
There's not much, and that's the thing. It's like there's not much you can do except for switch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all you. It was never broke. Like, just give them the extra 5 yards. It is what it is at this point. Like,
Yeah,
it really doesn't matter. Like, you're trying to stop them at the 20, 25. Like, what's the difference? What's really the difference? Sometimes it helps. Most of the time, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
75, 65. 75, 65. It don't matter. If I'm going to stop, if I'm going to stop you at, if I can't stop you at 75, if I can't stop you at 70, then like just start at the 30, make them drive that 70 yards to get 7. Make them drive that 40 yards to get it. Like
that's the thing. If you had one worry about the team in general, it's just small stuff.
Yeah.
Take care of the small stuff.
Exactly.
Kickoffs, tackling, open field tackling.
Open field tackling. I was about to say open field tackling.
And I have no fears. No, I don't have any fears anyway, but I don't have any gripes.
Yeah.
If they tackle, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Fine. And Brandon asked, what's the biggest fear
here,
for this game? Like I said, Brandon, the biggest fear that I have is just them like not doing this, taking care of the small stuff. You take care of the small things, the big things, take care of yourself. That's all you got to do.
Them beating themselves, like, because I believe they're better than the Packers. Like, man for man, they're better for the Packers.
Right.
Better than the Packers.
Yeah, they're better than the Packers.
I get nervous.
Vikings right now. I'm sorry to interrupt. The better than the Vikings. They're better to me. They're better on the NFC team. On the NFC side, they're the best team in the NFC.
They're the best team. They're the most complete team in the NFC.
Yeah.
It's just like just play a clean game. If the Eagles play a clean game and do what they're capable of, they should win by 10.
Yeah,
easily.
Don't beat yourself.
They should win by 10. What would you trade the 32nd pick? No, and 32nd pick. Brian said, I will give Jacksonville the 32nd pick of the first round. Oh, you talking about the kid that's there already? Yeah, number 44. Walker. I mean, I wouldn't mind, but you're giving your 32nd pick up. He has 2 years left, and he has an option, right? He has 2 years because he came in with what's buddy from Detroit.
But what are you going to do if you do that, right? Then there's two things that automatically happen at that point. You automatically admit failure with Bryce Huff, right?
Right, instantly.
Yeah, you instantly, and I don't know if Howie's willing to admit that right
Bryce
now.
Huff is a failure.
Yeah, that's because
how long.
I mean, but is he?
How long did it take
is he?
Yeah, right
Trayvon
now.
Walker. He's talking about Walker from Jacksonville. Yeah. Okay, I thought he was talking. So
yeah,
I'm not completely. I'm not going to give up on Bryce Huff yet, but
this year,
I know.
I'm not.
This year was definitely a failure.
Well, it's definitely
this year was a failure.
Yeah.
But how long did it take Howie to give up on Derek Barnett?
Yeah, but
Marcus Smith was here for like 4 years.
Yeah, but he didn't. But none of them was worth $17 million a year yet.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all saw Javon Hargrave just got released or is gonna get released.
Bring him
Is he coming back?
I would bring him back in a heartbeat. I don't think he could play till next year. Yeah. But still, I'll bring him back for the low, especially. I'll bring him back.
Bring him back.
I would bring him back and move Milton Williams to the DN.
Oh, that's another thing. But you got to pay Milton, man. That's
you got to pay Milton.
You got to pay Milton. That's another thing. That price tag going to be loud.
That's a good question. That's a good.
The price of a brick today is not the price of it.
That's what I'm saying. But how much is he really worth? Because this is by far his best season. Don't get me wrong, but he's been really good over the past couple of years. But
That's
you're
who he
also
is.
playing next to Jalen Carter. You know what I'm saying? You're
He's
out there
Hargraves.
balling next to Jalen Carter. So
He's Javon Hargraves 2025.
yeah.
And you got
He's Hargraves.
you got some money issues. I take that back. They're not money issues, but you got some decisions to make in the next 2 years because
You have this.
Jordan Davis is 1 year, and then Jalen Carter, that's coming.
Yeah.
You got to
You
pay
better
him.
get ahead of that now. You figure that out right now. Maybe not next year, but going
The
into
year after.
you need to figure that out
2025, 26.
because he's not slowing down.
Yeah.
He's not. He's already AP All Pro first team.
Yeah.
So
First team. He's Aaron Donald Jr. He's Aaron Donald Jr.
You need to figure that out ASAP. And Braun.
You don't let him get
and Braun.
Yeah.
You got Braun. Like I think
these are good. These are good issues to have.
Good problems to have. But I figured like if when I'm looking at the roster right now, Braun is priority. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Braun is number one. Braun is priority. So you got to have Braun. And then secondly, like you got Sweat and Williams, right? I'm not worried. Like Beckham, Mackay has been amazing. Like Mackay has been amazing, but I just believe in Stoutland. I believe that if Steen needs to step up, if Steen can come in and do everything that we watch Mackay do. So my last issue I would address is offensive line, but I believe like
do they bring back Sweaty though?
I would bring back Sweaty if the price is right.
I don't like that leg, man. I don't like that leg dragging. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'll keep you as long as the price right, but there's a lot of good defensive ends in this draft, so I'm not committing.
If the price is right, I would keep Sweaty. But let me ask you this: if I would keep Milton Williams over Sweaty, I would definitely keep Milton Williams over Sweaty. But if Khalil Mack wants to come for a Sweaty price tag, Khalil Mack is going to be available because I don't think the Chargers keep him.
They're not. They're not.
I don't think the Chargers keep Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of other defensive ends in play. But if I had to pick between Sweaty and Khalil and Sweaty and Milton Williams would definitely be my pick between the two. Because I feel like Milton can play inside and outside, and Milton just seems like when Milton and like shout to Jordan Davis because Davis is a dog and he doesn't get half the kudos he deserves. So I'm going to hand him his flowers right now.
Yeah, they do him dirty, man.
He improved against the runs. He's always that's what his job, but he's a run stopper. He's in way better shape than he was last year, and Jordan Davis is a really, really, really important piece of this team. Yeah. But when I see Carter and Williams there at D tackle, I know something getting blown up. I know some damage is getting done. Like damage is getting done because those boys right there are dogs. Not saying Jordan Davis isn't a dog because he does his job, but those two are so explosive, and it's just like they fire off the ball. And Jalen Carter's fast. With Jalen Carter clubbed the dude like 2 weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure that dude should have been in concussion protocol because it was just egregious. Because the way he banged his head, and it's just like you can't tell me that dude doesn't have a concussion. But Jalen Carter is Jalen Carter.
He's different.
And let me stop. Let me stop before I say this. Let me just think. You got T.J. Watt, Hendricks, Hutchinson didn't play this year. Jalen Carter is the best defensive player in the NFL.
Right now?
Right now.
Yeah, he is.
It's hard to argue that. I
really have to think.
People are going to look at the stats. That's the thing. People are just going to look at the numbers, and they're not going to see the full story. That's what I said earlier in my video. Like, you got all pro for a reason. That boy is different. He a different.
That's why I stopped and said, "Let me think." You got Crosby, Henry, uh, Patrick Surtain Jr. is good. Derwin James, Jalen Carter is the best. Not defensive line. Jalen Carter is the best defensive player in the league. Brian, I am old enough to remember JB bring it home for Jerome. Well, Jalen Carter's better than Jerome Brown.
Jalen's different, man. He of those.
Yeah, no, and like Jalen Brown, Reggie White, Jalen Brown, Clyde Simmons, dogs, nasty.
Yeah.
And I go back and I watch that. Y'all, I watch.
Well,
And Jerome Brown passed before his time. But if I look at Jerome Brown's first 2 years and Jalen Brown's first 2 years, Jalen Brown. If we go back and redraft, last year, who's the number one pick? I mean Jalen Carter. I said Jalen Brown. If we go back and redraft last year, because Jalen Brown plays for the Celtics and he's a bum.
But to wrap that back
Jalen
around, I don't think that we talk enough about Vic Fangio, right? And the reason I say that is because of the fact that the word coming out of Miami was folks didn't want to play for him. You know, the team, the defensive guys didn't want to play with him because he was too tough on them. They didn't like his scheme. They didn't want to do this. They didn't want to do that, right? Now, granted, yeah, Tua was out, but they didn't tackle. They didn't play good coverage down there, right? They didn't do that. Even with what's Jalen down there? What's Jalen is down there in Miami?
Ramsey.
Right? Yeah. He didn't do well this year, right? The corners they had down there outside of him didn't play well this year, right? It's a lot of stuff that's going on down there because those guys were soft. Soft on the football field, not soft in life, but soft on the football field. They didn't want to do the things that were required of them to be a good defense. Turn that around, and you got Jalen Carter, you got Jordan Davis, you got CJ, you got Bond, you got Nakobe, you got Slay. Even though Slay, is getting a little older. You got Quinyon, you got Cooper, you got Reed. All those guys coming out there, Milton, locking people down, tackling, playing good coverage, getting to the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Extra efforts to make sure they take care of the situation at hand. That all came with the attention to detail and on those types of things that Vic provided for them. You know what I'm saying? And understanding who Vic is as a coordinator. I don't think he's getting enough flowers for what he's done for this team this year on defense.
I talked a lot of junk. And Kataya's mom said she was skeptical about Fangio, but he's done wonders. I'm the exact same. I'm literally exact. I talked a lot of junk. I take it back, Father Fangio. I am so sorry. He's looking good, man. This defense, it looks so disciplined. It looks so simple what we do. Yeah, it really does, and that's something I can't say for a long time. I feel like we've had so many people come in here and it made it seem so complicated. And, this guy got to be able to do that. Our defensive tackles got to be able to cover their wide receiver ones. And this got to and it just made no sense. But now you have the guy that kind of actually created it. And it makes sense because he even said at the press conference, I think it was today, that he was like, he never gives his analytics to other people. So anybody saying that they run his system.
They're just going off of it. They're just going off whatever they throw at the wall.
Exactly. So
going off of what they think. But remember, again, we had this conversation when they hired him. I said every time Vic has taken over a team, one of his defensive tackles have at least been All Pro their first year. Because he got Christian Wilkinson paid. Like Christian Wilkinson was a nobody. Vic shows up to Miami and Christian Wilkinson is an All Pro. Look, like even in Denver, look every stop Vic has been.
The
There's
defense
been an
plays
outstanding
well.
defensive tackle there.
Just look at the Dolphins. Just look
So
at the Dolphins right now.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Trainer.
that's what I'm saying. But like, you look at everywhere Vic goes. There's an interior lineman that has the best years of his life when Vic is there, right?
Yeah.
So then you take arguably the best interior lineman we've seen in the last how many years in the draft. He falls to the Eagles, and Vic comes into town, and now he's going to be first team All Pro, right? So, like I said, Vic had the history of having defensive tackles that play well. Uh, Coop, we snuck up and we
Don't say
snuck
that
up
too
and we got
loud.
Coop.
That's my dog's name's Coop. He gonna think you're talking to him.
Oh, we snuck up and we got Coop. You got Mitchell in round one, and then you snuck up and you got Coop.
Yeah.
Coop has made Coop came back after the bye, and he does the small things like we were talking about. He does the small things. He's a short tackler. He's intelligent. He communicates, and he does everything that you need from a player in his position. He can play safety. He can drop in the slot. He might even be able. He might even be all right outside. I don't want us to get to the point where we need to play him outside right now, but I believe like Coop has made a huge impact on the defense, and then Braun's gotten comfortable. Like Braun is comfortable, and the Kobe.
I want to know what that contract is going to look like, though.
Yeah, for Bond.
Especially if he wins Defensive Player of the Year.
He
You
should be
think
the
he will?
defensive player. I think he should. He got better numbers than Luke Kuechly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, it's like, and don't you know I'm
I
not.
would have signed him. I would have signed him after week 7, 8. I would have just,
Yeah, just got it
hey,
out the way.
Yeah, and
You
I'm not
look
the
good.
one.
I,
You
We'll
know, I'm
figure
not
it
the
out.
one to count people money. I don't like that. I know it's a part of what you got to do, but I don't like it. You know what I'm saying?
I believe he should. I believe his numbers are going to command Patrick Queen numbers.
Oh man,
Hey,
yeah,
he's what, 27?
yeah. They got an issue.
They
It's a good
do
issue to have, but they definitely got one. They got one. They got to figure it out.
You know,
because
I just want to say this because I want to talk about the Green Bay and Eagles game. So I want to kind of switch a little bit.
Yeah.
But I want to say this. If Jalen Hurts was to not be on this team after post June, it would only cost us $7 million. That would be until he's 28. Until he's 29, excuse me. That's the cheapest his out would be. Just saying that. So if it really becomes a problem and you think that the rest of this team is really what keeps everything going, they can always do that. But my thing is, we do talk a lot, but we do not give Vic Fangio the flowers he deserves. But I think you could say the same thing on the other side. But it depends on who. Do you think if we lose Kellen Moore, we lose this offense, or do you give Nick Sirianni more credit than a lot of other people? Because I give Nick Sirianni more credit than people give him. I don't think that this is all Kellen Moore and Kellen just figured everything out. I think the team finally just talked to Nick and was like, we need to run the ball more, and he listened. So what do y'all think? Do you think it's more imperative to keep a guy like Kellen Moore around or a Nick Sirianni?
I think that when they sign, I'm gonna answer your question, but I'm gonna explain it. When they signed Saquon, I think that made either one of them interchangeable. And what I mean by that is no one is paying. If you look in Baltimore, they're giving Derrick Henry the ball. If you look in Green Bay when they signed Josh Jacobs, they're giving him the ball. When you look in Minnesota, when they grabbed Aaron Jones from Green Bay, they're giving him the ball. I say that, back to bring that back around to the Eagles. When I think if you let Nick go, you can bring in Kellen. If you let Kellen go, then you're not. I think just going. I think the answer is really above them.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because I don't think Howie brought Saquon there to be a second hand. You know what I'm saying? I think we got the answer. The answer is the offense is now built around Saquon
26.
side out now. It's not outside
So
in.
all right. So then that ask me that brings up the next question. How? And I hate to put. I ain't trying to start no drama. I like our quarterback. All right, but I'm in a lot of group chats. There's a lot of conversations that happen. I look at a lot of numbers. I talk to a lot
I'll
of people
answer
that maybe
this.
I shouldn't.
I will answer this. I will answer this.
How interchangeable is our quarterback? Because especially after seeing a guy like Tanner McKee go out there and do what he did.
Jalen Hurts is the most important player on the Eagles roster right now.
Yes.
And why do you say that? I agree with you. I do agree with you, but I want to know why you say that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
How many the percentage and you know what? Next week I'll have RPO. We running out the shotgun. Like the what makes this offense go. And I'm not gonna count the Kenny Pickett game. I'll address the Dallas game. But prior to the Dallas game, Jalen is in shotgun, right? We run the offense from the shotgun, and we do 50 something percent of the plays are RPO.
Right.
Um, and that's based on the defensive, like we just said, that's based on Jalen making the right read when on the defensive end, right? So you have this defensive end whose job is to read the quarterback, and you have a quarterback whose job is to read the defensive end.
Yeah.
Like that's basically what it boils down to. And you have to have a quarterback that's either smarter than his defensive end, more athletic than his defensive end, or stronger than his defensive end when you run this offense. So you have Jalen who, and I'm on camera, but you have Jalen who puts the ball out here like this. And in a second, he has to decide if he's handing it off, keeping it, or throwing a pass. And he makes that read based off of what he sees from this end and his pre reads on the defensive back, right? So, and I said this 2 years. I said this the year we went to the Super Bowl. I people Jalen Hurts is going to play amazing, and there's only one or two quarterbacks I would trade Jalen Hurts for. And people said I was crazy because I said unless you got Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, or Josh Allen calling the Eagles for Jalen Hurts, I'm not entertaining the calls. And I still am a firm believer because I watched Jalen Hurts read that defensive end correctly 90% of the time. He makes the right play 90% of the time. Kenny Pickett can't run. We've seen he got hurt. Again, when you're the starter, you take the offense is detailed and built around Hurts.
Yeah.
Okay, I give you that. But Kenny Pickett came in. That defense created 5 turnovers, and they got 6 points off of 5 turnovers because that offense was based on what Hurts makes it go. Run our pass. Because if you crash down, if you we seen it in Green Bay 2 years ago. If you crash down, if that thing crashes down because Barkley's gashing him, that thing crashes down. And guess what? Now Hurts goes off for 15, 17 yards. And it's just he's that vital and he's that important. Like people don't respect what he does because he doesn't throw for five. He doesn't throw for the 4,500, and he's not like Lamar's electric. Like you look at a game and you see Lamar Jackson had 9 carries for 112 yards, and you're like, God damn. Well, Jalen Hurts had 5 carries for 33 yards. What you don't see is
That's one. Yeah.
three of those carries were tush pushes. One came on the three that hit Hurts carries were tush pushes. One of those carries came on the 3rd and 9 where he scrambled and got us 12 yards and got us a first down. And then one came on when the defensive end completely crashed down and he took it. Lamar got 8 sacks. Lamar might have got sacked 4 times and then he breaks a 70-yard run, which is electric,
Right.
and everybody loves it. But Jalen Hurts does what he needs to do to win the game, and there's a difference. There's a difference.
And
So
not,
he might not. They'd hate him. They hate him because Joe would up. Listen, I'm telling you, WPI or whatever. I'm not even going to say their. But if you listen to those guys from Delco and Stan from Northeast, who was the long snapper for the last undefeated team in Northeast High School, Jalen Hurts is a bomb. I could do so much better than Hurts. AJ Brown is always open. This team's so talented. Any quarterback could quarterback this team. It's that simple. No, that's what I hear every day. But when you watch the film, one makes this team go. One makes this team go.
let me tell
And
you.
as long as and we're only going to go as far as one takes us.
Let me tell you something. You ever heard that saying is you don't know what you got until it's gone. You don't know. People don't understand. There was a quality there in the quarterback just to keep things moving along that people do not understand with Jalen Hurts. Is it going to be what you like Marv said, is it going to be what you want every week? Is it going to be 300 yards and 3 touchdowns passing? No, it's not. Will it be 225 and a touchdown or in one rushing? Yeah, it's going to be that. But I'm okay with that. You know why? Because sometimes you just need simplicity. You need to keep things simple. Don't make things harder than what they need to be, especially when you look at the. Are we talking about the offense, or are we talking about the quarterback? When you look at those 11 guys on offense, they have it's not even an argument that they have the best line in the NFL. They do. When they're all there, they're the best line in the NFL. You got a number one on both sides of them. I don't look at Smitty as a number two. I look at Smitty as a 1B, 1A, 1B.
1B.
You,
The
it,
best duo. I say they are the best duo. I would take, and I'm not being a homer, I'd take Brown and Smith over Chase and Higgins all day.
yeah, and look at this, man. You got Goddard when he's healthy. You got Saquon in the backfield, man. All you have to do is just turn on the car and literally drive. That's it. No one's asking you to look at your phone while you're driving. No one's asking you for extra directions. Get us from point A to point B.
Hey,
Because
Black. The only problem is
the car is going to
they've
do
been having to let that car warm up a little bit. They've been having to let that car warm up a little bit.
You
I don't like it.
You don't need to do anything anymore, man. Just all he has to do. Well, I'm not even asking him to. I'm not asking him to be a Lamar. I'm not asking him to be a Joe Burrow. I'm not asking him to be Pat. Just drive the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and get me there safely.
You be the chauffeur. Get us from point A
Get
to
me
point
there,
B.
Mr. Bentley.
It's not hard. It's not
All
hard.
right, we got my dog starting to go crazy right now. So we got like about 5 more minutes left. I want to ask y'all quickly. We got this game Sunday. How do we win? What do we got to do? Give me a quick overview of this game and a quick prediction.
Go ahead, Marv.
I be acting cool, but I'm always nervous. But I believe no Jair Alexander, Christian, their deep threat, like their deep threat is down. And Love banged his elbow up. He said he's gonna play, but we don't know if Love is gonna play. But if Love is even Love with or without Love, I feel like the defense if the defense take Jacobs away, like I believe they can, and you force Love to beat you, I believe the Eagles win this game. Because with no Alexander, with and Walker, we don't know about Walker. Did you hear about Walker? We haven't heard about what's going on with Walker, with or without Walker. Either
Yeah.
way, with no Alexander, honestly, my game plan would be without Alexander, I'm coming in and handing the ball off to Saquon 15 times in a row
Thank
and
you.
letting him gash him until you have to play man. And then once you go man, I'm Smitty or AJ is going to be open. And Jahan Dotson showed signs of life last week. And he did. And I'm not ready to give up on him. I want to address that. We're 50 something minutes and I wanted to address Dotson, but I don't think Dotson, I think like he came in at the end of the offseason, he got thrust into a bad situation. He
I
got
agree.
out there and he got to be the number one on Sunday and he had 7 catches for 93 yards. Uh as a Penn State guy, like he wasn't that great his first 2 years at Penn State either. And he turned it on his junior and senior year. So like you have the weapons. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball until the Packers have to no choice but to defend the run. And then Grant Calcaterra is showing he's a good tight end. Like they have weapons in the passing game. You can go 12, you can go 3 wide, you can go 4 wide. Just make them play the run until they can't defend it, until they put eight guys in the box, 9 guys in the box, and then make your receivers win one-on-ones. And I believe our receivers win one-on-ones against anybody they play against. AJ's always open.
Yeah.
My prediction is 27-17. They give up it's really 27-10, but they give up a cheap touchdown at the end of the game.
Yeah. I just, you know, it's do what you've been doing. I mean, look, there's nothing there. Look, you are what you are by the time you get to the 18th game of the year. If you're in the playoffs, right? You have to beat me. You
Mhm.
have to show me that you can take this punishment that I'm going to give you. And that's what I feel about the Eagles. Like, look, man, go into the game. You know what the Packers are by this time. Go in there. You got 3 games. Hopefully this is the first game of 3. You got 3 to get to the Super Bowl, right? Go in there, ride Saquon, and then play off that. And just keep doing what you've been doing, man. You know what I mean? Keep it simple. Take care of the small things. It's the same thing we've been preaching for the last 18 weeks. Just do that. There's no big elaborate plan with this. Look, Saquon is coming. You know this line is coming. Stop it.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah,
betting.
we don't punch
I
you in
would
the
bet that
face.
you can't. I will bet that you cannot stop from getting punched in the face. And
Right.
that's what
What
I'm betting.
Marshawn Lynch said on Twitter, I'm going to keep punching the face over and over and over and over. And
Yeah,
that's the recipe
and
for
and if
success.
and if they lose, I'm not saying I'm not thinking they are going to lose. But if they lost, then they did that, then hey, man, hats off to you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hats off to you.
Somebody obviously bullied them back
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
hats
I
off to
feel
you.
like
But I have no fears of them losing. 30, they're going to win 30-17.
yeah,
I like it. Yeah, I think realistically, y'all said it perfectly. You just got to be who you are. Go out there and impose your will defensively. Impose your will. Don't try to get cute. Don't try to do some new thing you've been holding back. Like, hey, just go out there, play football. Knock the if Jordan Love is playing, knock the hell out of him. I don't
Yep.
care. It's the playoffs now.
Beat them
Yeah,
up.
I don't want to see nobody get hurt, but knock him out. Like, knock him on his ass. All right, he don't got to leave the game or nothing. Pop him. Pop. I want to see Chauncey Gardner Johnson pop the first person he can.
Yep.
I want to see all these
Yeah,
guys
message right
impose their
there.
will. Yeah, play
it's
your
gonna be
game.
cold out there. You're going like it
They ain't
don't
gonna want to come back. Exactly. You hit them a couple times, they ain't gonna want to keep getting back up. So go out there and pose your will. Let Saquon eat. Let him go out there and break the record, including the playoffs. Right? He can still do that. I think it's only like 2,400 yards. So Eric Dickerson want to be all mad, but you ain't got no playoffs after that record. So look, you go out there and break that playoff record. Go out there, win that Super Bowl. Go out there and shut these people up. I really don't think Green Bay is. I just think they're too banged up. I think they're a good team, but I don't think their defense is that consistent.
Dominant. And
you look at they've had 2 good games against playoff teams, and then they've had 2 pretty bad games against playoff teams. So they're not that consistent defensively. Offensively, you know who Jordan Love is, but he doesn't have his guy Watson. He might, they're pretty banged up. So we'll see what happens. I think that we're going to go out there and dominate, especially being at home. I'm gonna say 34 to like 14. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
I'm 34-14.
So I want to say this real quick, and I got one question to ask y'all. So we all believe they should play really well, and we beat them, and we didn't. And our defense wasn't the defense that we have now.
Facts.
So we all think we should win. No disrespect to Green Bay, because Green Bay is a really, really good football team. And I just look at it that we have to start a 4-game win streak, and we take it 1 week at a time. 1 week, the first week is Green Bay, right? I like us against Green Bay, but I know we already shut it down. But I want to go through this with y'all guys real fast. It's wild card weekend. We got the Chargers, Texans. Who y'all got?
I'm gonna say Chargers.
I like the Chargers. Yeah. Chargers. Okay, we all agree. Yeah. Steelers, Ravens on Saturday night.
Ravens, man.
Ravens.
I'm taking Ravens gonna blow them out.
Yeah, I think 9.5. That line is at 9.5 right now.
I don't think it's gonna be close, man.
Crazy.
I think them boys checked out. I think them boys checked out with Russ, man.
Yeah.
He ain't threw. They said that man ain't threw for 200 yards in like the last 5 games.
But he has no wide receivers. What core does he have?
Pickens is one, but he can't get it to him.
Yeah, true.
He can't get it to him. He's been checking down the fire move. I'm like, bro, you know anyone else? Like,
and they kept on bringing up that stat. Oh, he's the best deep ball passer because he only threw like 2.
Dude,
he only threw like 2.
George Pickens be out there clapping his hand like, yo, there's so many times in that game last week he was wide open, and my man would not throw him the ball. I'm sorry. So now people mad at Pickens. I'm like, I get it, y'all want him to be older and be more mature, but I'm like, what do you do when you wide open?
Mm-hmm.
You keep coming back to the time. You keep coming back to the to huddle. Be like, yo, son, I'm open. How many times I gotta tell you that?
He ain't throwing. Russ out there looking like me. We got the Broncos Bills at the 1:00 game on Sunday.
That's gonna be closer than what people think.
I really do. You taking the Broncos?
I'm taking the Broncos.
You like Marvin Mims to go crazy?
I just don't like the Bills. I think the Bills are a flawed team. I think Josh Allen had, much like what the Eagles had to do last year, I feel like Josh Allen would have to play freaking superhero for that team. And I don't think he's going to do it in the playoffs. I think they're going to win.
So, Joe, you like the Broncos. Black, you like the Bills, but a little tighter than the spread.
The Broncos. I think the Broncos gonna win.
I like the Broncos too. I like it. Hey, we all agree on that one. We all agree on it. We all agree on the Eagles. Commanders, Buccaneers Sunday night.
Buccaneers.
Commanders.
I'm out here for that game. I'm going Bucks just because I want to play the Bucks so we can stop that whole narrative. I just want to play them and get it over with.
But we wouldn't play them.
Oh no, we wouldn't. Yeah, we would.
We would. And, no, we wouldn't play them because I got the Rams beating the Vikings on.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that game.
Look, man, Bucky Irvin, and Rashad White going to have a field day on that.
They are. I like that. I feel what you're saying, but I think
Yeah.
like the Bucks are really good against the run and they're horrible against the pass. I think Scary Terry goes for like 3.5 touchdowns against
Yeah, but that's the
Tampa.
difference is, but the reason they've been bad against the pass is because Winfield hasn't been playing and Jamel Dean hasn't been there the last couple of weeks. Them two are coming back and playing, and so some of that's going to change.
Yeah, the Bucks been beat up all year.
Yeah.
All year.
Some of that's going to change.
Yeah, I'm surprised they even made the playoffs, to be honest with you. They've been banged up. But we'll see. I low-key want the second round to be the Eagles versus the Bucks, and then the Lions versus the Vikings. That would be cool to me. I would like that.
I think the Rams beat the Vikings.
I don't think the Vikings are that good either, but we'll see. I think that would be a cool game.
Yeah.
The Lions beat Sam Darnold in the factory reset on Sunday.
Yeah,
like
he
Darnold,
looked a lot more like himself.
He looked like who he's supposed. He is who he thought he was. But no, all right. So we got.
Go ahead, my bad.
So you saying Lions, Vikings, Eagles, Bucks in the second round?
That's what I want.
In the NFC, and I like it, and then that means we would get Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, Ravens in the second round of the
That would
AFC.
be a weird AFC. I ain't gonna lie to you. That would be a really weird AFC. I feel like
next
the early
week,
90s.
He's not making it to the Super Bowl.
We gonna come back.
Put that out there right now. They're not making it to the Super Bowl. They're not.
Who?
The Chiefs.
I don't see it. They're another flawed team, but they got the refs on their side, so who knows?
I think Baltimore. I think it's the Baltimore's year, but
I think this is if Lamar don't get there this year, he ain't getting there. If he don't get to the AFC Championship game this year, he ain't getting there.
Yeah.
I think this is it for that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they get through this week and they get Zay Flowers back, and he'll be the game changer next week. I know we got to wrap. I took over for a few minutes, but Joe is
my dog going crazy. You already hear him in the back.
Yeah, I know. I hear him barking. That's why I said we got to go.
He's like, "Shut up, sir! Shut up! I'm trying to eat." But I appreciate everybody that tuned in, man. Y'all want to say anything before we get out of here? Give them y'all socials and all that good stuff.
Yeah, man. Follow me on Blue Sky. I'm over there now. I'm no longer on Twitter, but I got the same handle, Imagine Life 2, on Blue Sky. Follow me over there, man. And my name Marcus Blackstock. I'm on Facebook. That's the same for my Instagram as well, man. But it was cool rocking out with y'all, man. We're gonna be back at it next week, hopefully. I'm calling that we're gonna be back next week with a win. So we're not gonna worry about no losses, you know what I'm saying? But just get ready to rock and keep it moving.
Black Jason Kelsey at Blue Sky. Swerve Griffin, everything everywhere else, I'm around. Hopefully we are back here in an upbeat and joyous mood, and we're celebrating a victory. But either way, we're gonna be back here. But I think we'll be in high spirits next week when we get together.
Yeah.
Go Birds.
We definitely will.
Go Birds.
Yeah, we definitely will be happy next week. I promise y'all that. We're not losing. We're not losing in the first round after 14 wins. That cannot happen. But yeah, we will be back either way. And hopefully my dog is a little bit calmer next week. He did pretty good. For most of the show, he did pretty darn good. I'm proud of him. He was asleep for most of it. That's really why. But yeah, other than that, y'all know what it is, man. We appreciate y'all. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. But yeah, peace.
Later. All right.
Everywhere. This is for you.
Fly was flying on the team. Touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby. It's a Philly